Oh, man, they are cooking with the Hulk. If you weren't excited for the rumors and all the things that are happening, you're going to be after this video.
That's a guarantee.
So we just had several massive leaks about the Hulk make their way onto the internet, and these reports say that the long-rumored World War Hulk movie is indeed real.
It's real.
And it's also likely the secret Hulk movie that was shooting at the end of this year that was rumored that we talked about. There are also reports that Marvel and Sony want Hulk to be the main villain of Spider-Man 4, which sounds goddamn ridiculous if I'm being honest, but technically explainable by the theory we're going to go over in this video. And the thing is, guys, the internet detective in me, the super fan that follows all the crazy Marvel shit, that side of me is so damn excited because of all the rumors that are coming out about the Hulk, man. Like this is crazy. You see, all of this has to do with the Maestro Hulk, an evil version of Bruce Banner, who is frankly on that type shit and has Black Air Force One energy. And you already know this is something we need for the Hulk character badly. No more of this cardigan wearing whatever the this haircut was for your son. No. So let's get into these rumors, man. I think the first thing I want to say is this new World War Hulk rumor does seem to tie directly into other rumors that were about a Hulk versus Wolverine film. Basically, I'm saying that movie that was rumored to shoot at the end of 2025, that was random, that nobody knew about, and a lot of scoopers said was probably about the Hulk, that movie was likely World War Hulk the entire time. Now, it's also important to realize that the rumors of Marvel Studios wanting to do a World War Hulk movie go back years. This is one of those concepts that Kevin Feige has likely had on a whiteboard for ages, and he was ultimately just looking for the right time and the right project to implement it. I personally remember the World War Hulk rumors being so prevalent that when the Marvel fandom was watching the She-Hulk show and Bruce Banner had to leave to go to Saga, many speculate that he would return completely raged out, and that would lead into the MCU version of World War Hulk. This is because in Marvel Comics, World War Hulk happens after the Hulk is marooned on Saga, and he ends up conquering that planet after being forced to fight as a gladiator. And you'll of course recall that a lot of that stuff was implemented in Thor Ragnarok. But back to the comic book version of the story, Hulk becomes the king of that planet, and then, oh no, it blows up and kills his new wife.
I'm gonna be so mad.
Then Hulk gets madder than he's ever gotten ever, and you know, in comics, when the Hulk gets more angry, he gets more powerful. This was kind of like the beginning of the John Wick films when the dog dies. Hulk goes nuts, man, and he comes back to Earth to seek vengeance on Tony Stark and the Illuminati, because it was the Illuminati that actually maroons Hulk onto that planet. This was a long time ago in comics, and they said the best solution for Hulk was to basically just put him out to pasture at a different planet. And so that's the comic book story, but it's also important to remember that Marvel Studios never does a direct one-to-one adaptation of a comic book story for an MCU project. Projects like Civil War, Age of Ultron, and even Infinity War are very different in the MCU compared to what they were in comics. I mean, usually the spirit of the story is still the same, and some big events are adapted for the live-action version, but the differences are wild, man. I mean, they're very different from what the comics were. Okay, so now you know what the World War Hulk story was in the comics. You know that the MCU never directly adapts that, and you know that the World War Hulk rumors have been around for years. So now let's get into this new report from the World of Real. And according to the World of Real, the World War Hulk movie is real. So last week, in an article titled "George Miller has shown interest in directing Thor 5 and Hulk," the World of Real talks about how a rumor came out that a World War Hulk movie was in production. And ironically, this rumor came out from Production Weekly. A lot of redundancy in this video. Anyway, after this Production Weekly listing came out for the World War Hulk movie, the person that wrote this article on the World of Real did check with their sources, and he reports that although the plans are not official, the goal from Marvel Studios is to shoot this film by the end of this year. Mark Ruffalo is said to come back and play the Hulk, and they also say in the article that Captain America Brave New World will set up World War Hulk for the Hulk character, and then Thunderbolts will be the connecting branch for the character's first MCU solo movie. Talking about Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk, because of course the only Hulk movie that was a solo film in the MCU so far was Edward Norton's Hulk. Additionally, in this article, they say that Feige has reached out to several directors for World War Hulk, and this includes George Miller. And according to the World of Real, Miller is completely open to doing this movie. He's also interested in doing Thor 5, which of course makes sense because Chris Hemsworth and him did Furiosa together, and apparently it was Chris Hemsworth that got George Miller to consider taking a job with Marvel Studios. And so according to this article although it's not official, the plan for Marvel Studios is to shoot World War Hulk by the end of 2025. It's going to be set up by Captain America Brave New World and the Thunderbolts movie. Mark Ruffalo will be playing the Hulk in that movie, and George Miller might direct it. This is insane stuff, dude. Holy shit. I mean, I'm going to be so hyped up if this actually comes together. George Miller is an insanely talented director, and I would love for him to do anything in the MCU, frankly. Like, his visual style is so cool. This dude's been making movies forever. He knows how to make purely entertaining blockbusters and also crazy good movies with penguins.
Oh, happy feet.
So that's a W. I hope this whole thing comes together. But let's now talk about how this rumor fits into other stuff, because again, I think I know what's really going on here, and it's spicy. Part of the reason I'm so excited about this is the timing. If this movie begins to shoot this year, then it's shooting in the same year as Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man 4. That means this movie could come out between Doomsday and Secret Wars, likely after Spider-Man 4. In fact, there's a lot of evidence for this. We've been talking about rumors of the Hulk vs. Wolverine movie, and many believed that that would be a Battle World film, and it would be after Spider-Man 4. I've talked about this a lot in videos and streams, but essentially you have Avengers Doomsday, you have Avengers Secret Wars. We know for sure you're going to have Spider-Man 4 taking place in between them. Kevin Feige himself has talked about this on stage publicly. There were a lot of other projects rumored to potentially take place in that time period as well. And as Tom Holland sort of hinted at when he was interviewed about the script for Spider-Man 4, this all has to do with fitting this all together into this big machine as they're telling this absolutely epic story of these two Avengers films. That story is going to be a conclusion not only to the Infinity Saga, but to a lot of these other universes, right? Like Sony and Fox and these other canons. And within this conversation of this big crazy ending that Marvel is currently building, there has been this rumor that there will be a secret movie shooting at the end of 2025 that is on nobody's radar, and that movie could potentially take the February release date that Marvel Studios has just a few months before the release of Avengers Secret Wars. In fact, I remember Jeff Snyder was asked directly about this because the news of this mystery movie that was shooting at the end of 2025 was popping off, and Snyder said he thought it would have something to do with the Hulk. Now, at the time, I thought that sort of was a nod to the Hulk vs. Wolverine rumors, that movie was going to be Hulk vs. Wolverine. But just this week, a day before this article came out from The World of Real, Cryptic HD said on Twitter that the Hulk vs. Wolverine movie was likely being pushed. The next Hulk movie would not technically be Hulk vs. Wolverine, but that the thread of Avengers vs. X-Men, Hulk vs. Wolverine would be touched on in the end of the multiversal saga, either in Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, and then that thread would properly carry over into the next saga for Marvel Studios, which is rumored to be the Mutant Saga, and then that could lead to Avengers vs. X-Men. But don't get lost in the sauce there. Like, the point is, a lot of information was coming out about this Hulk movie all last week, right? Cryptic HD came out to clarify this Production Weekly listing happens. The World of Real publishes their article. A lot of other insiders say that this passes the smell test, that this is likely actually what Kevin Feige is cooking. And I guess some of the Avengers vs. X-Men stuff could happen in a World War Hulk movie. And in fact, I think I kind of know the angle that they might take, because it's that time of the video, baby. We got to talk about the Maestro Hulk. I mean, this is the type of character that gets Rob from Comics Explained to say, man, let me tell you, son. Let me explain the Maestro Hulk a bit and tell you why I think he's probably the main villain of the World War Hulk movie, and possibly Spider-Man 4, if that is a true rumor. What the f is going on with Spider-Man 4, guys? Maestro Hulk is a variant of the Hulk that comes from a future timeline. The story that this character is introduced is literally called Future Imperfect, and has a character of Rick Jones taking regular Bruce Banner Hulk into the future to fight against the Maestro variant. Maestro is a version of the Hulk that survives this nuclear apocalypse, and he becomes even stronger and smarter and wilder because of all of that gamma radiation. Maestro was a huge hit with fans. Marvel Comics went on to make a whole trilogy about the character's rise to power after that initial story, and they have used the design of the Maestro Hulk in other stories like Old Man Logan. The character was also the main villain of the Contest of Champions video game. He's been adapted into the Agents of Smash TV show, and he's had incredible merchandising built around him, including t-shirts, statues, and figures. Maestro Hulk is like the no around version of the Hulk. Like I said before, Black Air Force One energy. This dude has that shit. Marvel fans love the Maestro Hulk, but this isn't just a fanboy dream that Marvel Studios would bring him in. This isn't a total mass pull, ladies and gentlemen. There are actual rumors out there. Scoopers and insiders have talked about the Maestro Hulk. I guess Alex Perez is probably the most vocal about this, talking about how the future for Bruce Banner in the MCU would involve the Maestro. Alex has said this in a couple of his Q&As that he does via Discord on the Cosmic Circus. It's also worth mentioning that the rumor of the evil variants of the OG Avengers is still very much a thing. A lot of the speculation around that idea has led to more theories that Maestro would be the evil version of the Hulk that would stand beside Doctor Doom. And in fact, I also thought Maestro Hulk was going to be a thing even when Kang was still the big bad, because timelines, multiverse, future imperfect version of the Hulk, Maestro Hulk. Wouldn't Kang go into the future and grab up that variant? Makes sense to me. So therefore, it seems pretty reasonable that if Hulk is the villain of World War Hulk, and that movie takes place between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, then it is very likely to be the Maestro variant of Hulk. This would tie all of these separate rumors together, including the weird stuff with Spider-Man 4, if that indeed is real. I personally think RDJ's Doctor Doom will likely go out into the multiverse, find a variant of the Maestro Hulk, and then bring that variant of the Hulk to his side. Doom could potentially have Hulk be the ruler of Earth in his new universe, and that could potentially explain why Hulk is maybe the villain of two separate movies that take place between the Avengers films. I don't want to get too lost in the sauce here, but there's a lot of rumors suggesting that Doctor Doom's going to have evil variants of the Avengers that work for him. And in the most recent version of Secret Wars, the Jonathan Hickman story, Doctor Doom had different barons and dukes and people of power that ruled different segments of Battle World. Apocalypse was one. I believe the Maestro Hulk was actually one as well. And insiders have speculated that the evil variants of the Avengers will likely replace those characters in Doctor Doom's version of Secret Wars, or whatever that will be, which as it currently stands is likely just a brand new version of 616 that RDJ's Doctor Doom will create at the end of Doomsday. I know this is super nerdy. I know this is super sweaty, but just hold my hand, man. Just stay with me a little bit longer. There's even more evidence to talk about, because now we have to mention the connection to the MCU movies that are coming out this year. In the World of Real article that broke this news, they mentioned that World War Hulk will be set up by Brave New World, and that Thunderbolts will be the direct connection to World War Hulk happening. And due to established rumors for both of those films, I think I know exactly what this article is referring to. You see, there are rumors about the post-credit scene of Brave New World that say that Sam Wilson will go to the raft to visit Ross and the leader. Because spoiler alert, the hero's gonna win and the villains are gonna go to jail. Apparently, when Sam Wilson speaks to the leader on the raft, the leader is going to explain to Sam that the reason he did all these things and was trying to create all these Hulks is because he's trying to prepare Earth for a big coming threat. Now, I was told that that coming threat will connect to RDJ's Doctor Doom, but it's just described as something big coming, and Samuel Stearns tells Sam that they've just got to be ready. And apparently Sam is going to realize that this is real, and he's going to try to get people ready. And when it comes to the Thunderbolts, I think the very creation of the Century will likely be connected to Val or the United States government finding out about this threat that the leader was talking about. And so you see, both of these films will actually work together to set up this World War Hulk movie. And it's likely the case that the Maestro version of the Hulk is the big coming threat that's technically coming for Earth 616. Not to say that Doctor Doom won't also be coming for Earth 616, but the current rumors indicate that Doom's gonna have to do a lot of stuff, right? Like, he's got a lot of stuff going on in that movie. He's got a shopping list, man, and he wants to go to Bed Bath & Beyond, but we don't know if there'll be enough time.
I don't know if we'll have enough time.
I mean, that's where a lot of the rumors come from for the evil versions of the Avengers. It's like he's gonna have other people that do stuff for him. Like, remember, in Infinity War, Thanos doesn't even come to Earth until the very end of that film. At first, he thinks so little of humanity and of Earth that he sends his, Black Order, right? Like, he sends Corvus Clave and all those motherfuckers. And I mean, he originally sends Loki to deal with them, right? Like, Thanos wants nothing to do with Earth. He thinks they're beneath him. And maybe Doom feels the same way. So maybe the Maestro Hulk is the one that first shows up and starts messing up the Avengers while Doom goes and does what Doom's got to do. I think the thing that's so cool about this is there is evidence that points to this. It feels like almost a fanboy dream, because these are characters I want to see, right? I want to see the Maestro Hulk. I want to see him whooping the shit out of the current Hulk, which would probably force Bruce Banner to, like, get his balls back and actually rage out. Like, fans are going to go nuts if the Maestro actually shows up and starts whooping some ass, dude. Like, that's super cool. And I think because Hulk has been so underutilized in the current slate of Marvel content, fans would probably be okay with an evil variant of Hulk being like the sort of first boss that the Avengers have to face during the Battle World Saga in between the two Avengers movies. Because eventually they got to move past that. They got to go after actual Doctor Doom, right? You got to beat Doctor Doom in Secret Wars. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be a whole other thing that we're going to speculate about when we get there. But for now, massive rumors that the World War Hulk film is real. I've sort of laid out in this video why I think that's connected to the Maestro Hulk. And I'm clearly excited. I want to know, are you excited? What do you think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.